Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to UiTM Council of Professors webinar series initiated by the Research and Publication Subcommittee UiTM Council of Professors with the team Key to Excellent Mentor-Mentee Performance, brought to you live through Cisco WebEx and YouTube UiTM channel. My name is Ayub Matsom. I'm from the College of Engineering, UiTM Shah Alam. I'll be your moderator for this program. So without further ado, I would like to invite our first VVIP, Kami Bahagia, Professor T.S. Dr. Hajah Muhammad Jaya, Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, at the same time, Acting Vice Chancellor, UiTM, to deliver her opening remarks. Please welcome.
Am I supposed to say something? Belum lagi eh? Can't hear you lah.
Unmute, Professor. Professor, unmute.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to UiTM Council of Professors webinar series 2021, initiated by the Research and Publication Subcommittee, UiTM Council of Professors with the team Key to Excellent Mentor-Mentee Performance, brought to you live through Cisco WebEx and YouTube UiTM channel. My name is Ayub Matsom from College of Engineering, UiTM Shah Alam, and I'll be your moderator for this program.
Yeah, anyway, anyone.
Okay. Without further ado, I would like to invite our first VVIP, Yang Berbahagia, Professor T.S. Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Janor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, and at the same time as an Acting Vice Chancellor of UiTM, to deliver her opening remarks. Please welcome.
Even observation, you just need to stay in the car only.
Aida, you go there every day, Aida?
Thanks, Aida. Datuk, we still can't hear you, Datuk.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking with unmuting. Aida, you go to the campus Punjaram every day ya?
Next week, Monday, Prof.
No, sebelum itu ada pergi hari-hari ya?
This week, 2 kali I pergi every day and not every week, but twice.
Okay. I just nak tanya sebab I'm in charge of the whole campus. Ada apa-apa problem dengan monyet dekat hospital lah?
Prof Wilayan,
Ah.
excuse me, Prof Wilayan.
Ya.
Hospital Singapura, Prof.
Ya.
Fadil.
Singapura. Ya, ada sometimes dekat RC. Why, Prof?
No, ya.
Dekat residential college, Prof. Why?
Ya, okay. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm on it. Okay. Yeah, 1 second. Remember your procedure, come back later.
Okay, can you go to the minutes now? Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks a lot.
COVID-19 pandemic has changed
Okay, so please, as usual, check your...
It has accelerated structural shifts and created new ones, with the switch to digital being one of the most dramatic, as many of our activities are moving online just like today. As we proceed with recovery efforts from the global fallout of this crisis, it will be prudent that our attention turns to our eminent Council of Professors to help guide the university through its mission of upholding and advancing the vision of UiTM through scholarly and sustainable innovative programs. Hence, why, under the tutelage of the current chairman of the Council of Professors, Professor Dr. Ahmad Sazali Hamzah, I am confident that he will succeed as the leading light in our mission for change, just as our past chairpersons did when they helmed the council. With the full support of the 194 strong professors in the council, each of them leaders in various fields of expertise across the domains of science and social science, I'm certain we can be assured of a good pooling of resources and ideas to spearhead activities in tandem with our UiTM 2025 strategic plan. The time to sit on our laurels has passed, and we can and should provide the impetus for social transformation by leveraging new insights and advancements to reimagine how things will be, rather than attempting a return to business as usual. During this time of uncertainty and upheaval, indeed, our professors are the pillars that continuously support UiTM's reputation for academic excellence. And in pursuit of this, the Council has established 4 subcommittees to focus on key issues of concern. The Teaching and Learning Subcommittee, headed by Professor Dr. Pramjit Singh, will be pushing the frontiers of teaching and learning by uncovering new and exciting approaches to teaching and learning, incorporating internationalization of curricula and cross-fertilization between fields. The Research and Publication Subcommittee, led by Professor Dr. Muhammad Yusuf, will be focusing on efforts to propel research and publications via interaction amongst departments, faculties, and colleges, mentoring efforts, and a Center for Innovation. The subcommittee will also seek to identify issues related to key performance indices, KPI, in research-related matters. The Industry, Community, and University Subcommittee, aptly named ICU, headed by Professor Dr. Muhammad Hariri, will oversee multi-level engagements with strategic stakeholders to ensure UiTM stays relevant to society, government, and industry. Efforts will be made to identify industries poised to thrive in a post-COVID world and to extend partnership with the use of new era digital strategies. The Subcommittee for Alternative Income, led by our Council Chairman, Professor Dr. Ahmad Sazali, will be our income generating reconnaissance team. They will assist the university to ascertain financial opportunities in emerging industry, find breakout companies, and build better investment schemes. I have no doubt that the establishment of these 4 committees will give rise to viable solutions, workable propositions, and effective strategies that will support the progression of UiTM into a world-renowned university beyond COVID-19. Today's program is another active testament of that aspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, mentoring is guidance driven by experiences of those who have walked the path before us. As professors, we have indeed walked the path over our many years in academia, and we have faced our own fair share of challenges and obstacles. Treasure trove of knowledge, skill, and experience that we have can very well be put to excellent use in a mentorship program. I am therefore delighted that the Research and Publication Subcommittee of the Council of Professors has chosen to launch the UiTM Council of Professors Webinar Series 2021 with a session on mentorship. Congratulations to the Council members, particularly those in the Research and Publication Subcommittee, for their effort in bringing together mentors and mentees in the exploration of mentoring excellence. Thank you, Professor Dr. Ayub Muhammad Som, for moderating today's session, as well as to all mentors and mentees for sharing their experiences too. It is my hope that as we strive to emerge from the shadow of this pandemic, vigorous mentorship can help unlock the full potential of this beloved university of ours, and will continue to be an effective thrust towards achieving what was envisioned in the UiTM 2025 strategic plan. On that note, and in the name of Allah, most beneficent, most merciful, I hereby officially open the UiTM Council of Professors Webinar Series 2021 titled Key to Excellent Mentor-Mentee Performance. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Yang Berbahagia Profesor TS Dr. Hajar Roziah Muhammad Jano, for the very insightful opening remarks. We're going to go to the second VVIP. So I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Ahmad Sazali Hamzah, the Chairman, Council of Professor UiTM, to deliver his welcome remarks. Please welcome.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning. Thank you, Prof. Ayub, for being the moderator today. First of all, just a quick one from me. I would like to congratulate Prof. Rusop and his team for organizing this webinar. And this is actually one of the many programs being lined up by Majlis Professor. The next one will be by Professor Pamjit's team, which will talk about teaching and learning process in UiTM. I'm sure a lot of lecturers and students talk about ODR, etc. And there will be a platform whereby we can discuss this issue perhaps next month or in the future coming months. I think that is very important for us, especially academics. And then We also have a team headed by Prof. Hariri, which will discuss more about the relationship between the academics and the industry, and this will also, a part of our UiTM strategy for us, in the future, especially the strategy 2025. I'm aware that there are close to 200 participants this morning, and I see that quite a number of young participants from all over the country, and good to have them. I think as a professor, it is our duty to help the young ones, especially, so that they can chart the academic career in a properly manner. So I think this is one program. I think nampak Prof. Ambarin tu from Sabah. So I think this is one program whereby we can help, especially the young upcoming academics. And one of the responsibility of a professor is to become a mentor. I think most faculties have assigned, or maybe perhaps ILD have assigned some of the young academics to professors. So this is a very good step forward for us to take UiTM, to become a global player, especially in the field of education. I think we can do that, although we are big. Perhaps with the right strategy, we could achieve what UiTM wants to be. So again, I want to thank all the professors who are involved this morning. A lot of them, 8 semua ni, and also their mentee. Good luck to all of you. And perhaps you can take some questions or any feedback, especially for the younger ones. I think it's important for us to help them, especially also in the branch campuses. UiTM is huge. So hopefully Majlis Professor can help all the academics, in Shah Alam, Puncak Alam, Sabah, Sarawak, Perlis, I see there's Penang as well, Jengka, So take this opportunity, and should you have any queries or any questions regarding this mentorship program, you can always email to me or to the TNCA. We will try to do our best, to help all of you to pursue your career, especially in this academic. And don't forget, don't be too stressful when it comes to ODA. I know that not just students are facing problems, even the staff, some of them wrote to me saying that we also stress out. So take care, and I wish you all the best. Hopefully the pandemic will subside as soon as possible. Thank you again to Prof. Ayub and Prof. Rusop for organizing this program this morning. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
To move now to the our webinar program, I'm going to invite our first speakers on screen, Professor T.S. Dr. Asmah Awal from the Faculty of Plantation and Agrotechnology, UiTM Malacca branch, and her mentee, Dr. Nurul Izzati Osman from the Faculty of Pharmacy, UiTM Selangor branch, to come together on screen. Please welcome. Assalamualaikum, Prof. Asmah, and also Dr. Nurul Izzati to our program. Okay.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof. Ayub.
I'm going to ask Prof. Asmah first, okay, and then after that, we can go to Dr. Nurul Izzati, all right? So, Prof. Asmah, as a newly appointed professor, right, in UiTM, congratulations for that, as well as a former, right, dean of the Faculty of Plantation and Agro Technology. I'm sure this is actually a branch campuses, right? Could you please, share your experience as well as, success story with us, okay, in this particular program? And what do you think will be the key point towards excellence in mentor-mentee performance? Over to you, Prof. Asma.
Thank you, Prof. Ayub. Yang berbahagia Prof. Sazali, Datuk-Datuk, Datin-Datin, yang berbahagia Prof. and all our participants for sharing session today. So basically, this is part of the academic journey when we discuss on the academic and also research roadmap, meaning that the mentoring process, the mentor-mentee activities should be in line with our academic and also research roadmap. So basically, from our own experience, me, myself, and also Dr. Nurul Izzati. Is it okay? Is it okay, Prof. Ayub?
Saya tak dengar dulu.
So basically, when we look into the journey, academic journey, this is what we call it's a long process involving commitment, involving in terms of vision. So basically, for our perspective, from our own experience, mentoring should start with learning curve. So based from my own experience, the first thing that need to be polished up, the first thing need to be built up is on the learning curve related to the research and networking. So these are all the tools, the experience that need to be venture into the research, into the what we call more on the how are we going to build up the research area, and at the same time this will also uplift and blend together into the future research direction. So on the broader perspective, looking into the academic and research excellence to get a very what we call broad networking related to the research will help us in terms of championing research direction and also forecasting what will be our future research component. So from here, the most important experience that need to be blend together as a young researcher, for example, is to build up the learning curve so that we can easily vision, have clear direction related to the research, especially related to the grant application, related to the commercialization process, and this will also be applied in the teaching experience that we have day by day. So as a whole, I just would like to share on the journey, success journey, especially on the academic responsibility and also research direction. We must have both in the academic journey. So meaning that, thank you Prof. Ayub for introducing me because from the academic experience as a lecturer, as a deputy dean, as a head of agriculture biotech research group, this is the experience that need to be blend together to make sure we really crystal clear on our academic journey. So not only that, to support the whole process on the academic activities, the research should always be together. So meaning that from my perspective and my mentee perspective, we always be together discussing not only on the research component, but giving in terms of the real experience related to the intellectual property application and then related to the commercialization process, which is this is all about the outcome of the overall research activity. basically, when we're talking about the research, definitely the main component on publication, the main component on commercialization should be always be together. So based from the experience from different branches, Pahang, Negeri Sembilan, and then go to Shah Alam, and then go to Melaka, go back to Selangor. This is part of the academic experience that I should appreciate UiTM. How UiTM chart, how UiTM mold my perspective on management experience. So not only that, I should also thank UiTM for giving us the opportunity to champion in the agricultural biotech research group. So congratulations to my team, congratulations to all my students, because on academic excellence, we must look into 5 different components, which is on research grant application, on the intellectual property right, the teaching experience that we get from research experience, and next we must serve our community and looking into the commercialization purposes, meaning that if we have 5 different component, we blend together into the into an academic ecosystem. I, based from my own experience, you have a lot of things need to be done with positive mindset, and not only that, you must have one simple question: how to solve the problem. So that is part of the journey, part of the experience that always be together with my mentees, including Dr. Izzati, to chart our future, not only on academic, but also in the perspective of research and publication. Because at the end of the day, the high impact publication should reflect the actual impact to the society. So with that, I think Dr. Nurul Izzati will also would like to share her own experience based from our own perspective. Thank you, Prof. Ayub.
Thank you very much, Prof. Asma. Over to you, Dr. Izzati Osman. Please share with us your experience and also what will be the key points toward this excellent in mentor-mentee performance, maybe from the perspective of a mentee. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning, everyone. This is my research experience at a glance. This is a brief sharing of my research in my perspective as a supervisee or mentee. I'm grateful. Before that, just for introduction, I just joined UiTM as a lecturer in September 2019, less than 2 years, almost 2 years of experience as an academician. I'm grateful to Allah and thankful to everyone who has helped me in this journey. From the guidance that I received and the supports that I received from my mentors, especially from my supervisors and co-supervisors during my postgraduate research. I know this is very little to achieve, and there will be a lot more that we aim to achieve in the future, inshallah, because knowledge seeking and experience seeking and research experience is a lifelong journey. Then I also would like to share that this is my multiple areas of plant studies. I work on plant biotechnology, phytochemistry, biological activity, pharmacognosy, and also the latest one is the climate change, the impact of climate change on plants. So from these multiple areas, it also signifies that it involves multiple faculties as well. A teamwork from multiple faculties, for example, from applied sciences, plantation and agrotechnology from my faculty of pharmacy, as well as engineering. So next. All right, so this is I would like to share from supervisory and mentee point of view about what is mentoring activity from my opinion. So it starts with a very strong foundation of good intention, in which we should have pure intention and appropriate direction. And next, we need to have respect, have mutual respect between each other, appreciate each other, because everyone in the team is actually contributing towards the success and whatever achievement that we have in the research journey. And then the teamwork. Teamwork, especially as the beginner, as the supervisor, as the mentee, teamwork is very important because we lack of experience. Because of that, we need strong support system which function as a platform for us to share our problems, to find out the solutions or whatever alternative that we should take. Because in research, we may encounter lots of problems and difficulties. So great teamwork is very important. And on top of everything, in supervising as well in mentoring activity, the awareness is the most important thing, in my opinion, because we need to bear in mind that mentoring activity is not a spoon feeding activity. It is more like a guidance. We as a mentee, as supervising, should train ourselves to be self-starter, to be independent, proactive, and strategize our works and set our target. And we should know what we need to achieve and the milestone. And to summarize, intention is very important because it defines everything, and awareness is the biggest factor, the component to ensure that the mentoring activity will be a success, inshallah. And after we have given our best and work our plan accordingly, so we leave it to Allah and tawakkal on Allah to complete our effort. That's all from me, from my sharing of experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nurul Izzati, for the very, very enlightening experience that you share with us. Okay, I'm going to actually open for Q&A session to the audience out there who would like maybe to ask questions to our two speakers. So we have about 5 minutes Q&A session exclusively for these two speakers, yes. Anybody would like to ask questions, please?
I have a question for Dr. Nurul Izzati. Anis here. Can you
Yeah,
hear
please
me?
identify yourself. Yeah, please identify yourself.
Anis. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Okay,
Please continue. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Nurul Izzati, I have a question for you. What made you choose Prof. Asma as your mentor? Does it come naturally to you, or how do you choose your mentor?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you, Prof. Anis.
Okay, actually it starts from the postgraduate supervision because during my postgraduate studies, I am so much interested in plant studies and plant biotechnology and tissue culture and micropropagation. So at that moment, I'm looking for the expert in that area, and from there I met Prof. Asma as my postgraduate supervisor, and from there the relationship has started.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any more questions? We have a few more minutes actually for Q&A session. I also try to check on the chat box. You can also post your question in the chat box so that I will read it through. Any other questions, please? We have another, how many more minutes? My timekeeper? About 1 more minute. But it's okay. Maybe if you have questions later, you can still post it towards the end of the program if time permits, okay? So I'm going to move now to the next speakers. I'm going to invite Professor Dr. Anis Safura Ramli, the Deputy Director from the Institute of Pathology, Laboratory and Forensic Medicine, or in short, IPerform. UiTM Selangor branch, and her mentee, Dr. Siti Fatimah Badili Sham from the Faculty of Medicine, UiTM Selangor branch. Please welcome. Assalamualaikum, Prof. Anis. And also Dr. Siti Fatimah, welcome to the program. Okay, Prof. Anis, probably I will also, ask the same question as well to Dr. Siti Fatimah, right? Because Dr. Siti Fatimah, as the mentee of Prof. Anis, is currently a head of department of primary care medicine, Faculty of Medicine. You're a very successful mentee, actually. Anyway, I just want to ask maybe general question to both of you, right? I know a lot of people out there dying to know, your experiences or your success story, okay? As well as what is actually the tips and the tricks towards this excellent mentor-mentee performance. Please share with us. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you all hear me okay now?
Yes, Prof. Anis.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay, thank you, Prof. Ayub, for the very kind introduction. So my mentee and I, we are going to share our experience this morning. I'm Anis, and I have my mentee with me this morning, Dr. Siti Fatimah Badri Shasham. So we are going to just start off with, during this presentation, I'm going to be using the word coaching and mentoring simultaneously. There is a difference between the two. So I actually did these slides to be clear about our role, whether we are a coach or a mentor. So basically we are both, and in sharing our experience today, I'm going to share with you my experience being mentored as well as a mentor as well as a coach. So the big difference between the two that I can see is coaching is performance driven to enhance the professionals on the job performance, whereas mentoring is actually development driven, which is a holistic approach for career development. So with that, this great lady who's a CEO of a PepsiCo Global has said that mentoring is very, very important, and she wouldn't be here today without the mentoring. So I feel that way too about being mentored. I wouldn't be here today being a mentor myself if I had not had great mentors or coach in my life or in my career. So I would like to give the tribute to the 4 great mentors that have helped me to shape who I am today. The first mentor that I had was Professor Dr. David Whitford. He was my supervisor when I was training to become a specialist in the United Kingdom. And at the moment, he's the president and CEO of the RCSI UCD Malaysia campus. And the second mentor of note that I had privilege to have was Allahyarham Professor Dr. Khalid Yusof. He was the foundation dean when I joined as a young lecturer in the Faculty of Medicine, UiTM. And he was a former VC of UCSI, and Al-Fatiha to him, he's passed away earlier this year. And of course, my great mentor as well is Professor Datin Dr. Hafizah Nawawi, the current director of iPerform, my boss, who's also a former Deputy Dean Research and Postgraduate Faculty of Medicine. So when I joined UiTM in 2005, Prof. Hafizah was one of the person that has mentored me and shaped me to become who I am today. And last but not least is Professor Dr. Leon Peterman. He was my supervisor when I did my special interest training in Australia in 2010. I learned a lot from him in terms of running an academic department as well as doing research on top of other things. So, ladies and gentlemen, from there, what we have done, informally in our faculty and department is what we call it informal coaching and mentoring initiative. It started with a very small group of 1 or 2 people, and now we have expanded our network to about 9 in the group. So we are communicating with using a WhatsApp group, and our goal is about coaching and mentoring to enhance performance towards becoming excellent academic leaders. So to become a wholesome person. So not just about research and publication, but also as a wholesome academic leaders. So one of the mentees of note with here today is Dr. Siti Fatimah Bachasham, who's going to share her experience regarding this informal coaching and mentoring initiative that we've been having in the past few years. So what do we do? Of course, we believe that to be an excellent academic leader, the foundation, the strong foundation that we must all have is in terms of postgraduate supervision and research and publication skills. So this is what our group is focusing on, among other things like teaching and clinical service, which we also do. So this is I'm showing you the output. So of our mentoring and coaching group, because they started off to be my mentee, and then I coached them how to hunt for research grant, how to write papers. So I'm transferring the skills basically, which I learned from my great mentors, to all my mentees now. So in terms of research grant, Alhamdulillah, we've got 2 major grants that we're working on at the moment. One is the PRGF, called the Empower Sustain. So most of my mentees that I showed you before, they're all with me as my co-researchers now. And Alhamdulillah, earlier last year, we managed to get an international matching grant under the UK-Malaysia Joint Partnership Call on Non-Communicable Diseases. So most of the mentees I had before has now become my co-researchers through all these projects. And we also have got other grants like FRGS RACER, as well as UiTM internal grants as well. So the experience and skills that we are transferring to one another is in terms of not just grants acquisition, but as well as postgraduate supervision, as well as writing and publishing in high impact publications. So our group now, Alhamdulillah, we were able to churn about 10 to 15 papers within our group alone. We may not be authors of all the papers, but it doesn't matter. We work some of the papers we work together. Some of the papers are actually small groups working together. But the most important thing is the skills on how to actually write properly and get it published in high impact journals. And of course, we go for creativity, IPR, and innovation awards as well. So our group has won several awards too. So what are the key, sort of like keys? I wouldn't say just one key. There are keys to get where we are today. First of all is, of course, building a relationship based on mutual respect and trust, which is very, very important that everybody respect this. So it's not just a matter of like a senior dominating the juniors. Our relationship doesn't work that way. And we all have got passion and grit, because passion or enthusiasm are infectious. So I think this is very, very important key to mentor-mentee performance, that our mentee sees us whether we are passionate or not in what we do. Another key is about grit. This is ability to actually run a marathon, not just a sprinter and then you get tired afterwards. So this is ability to actually do a long marathon in your life with the energy so that you can be successful in the end. Of course, every one of us have got strengths and weaknesses. Mentors, mentees have got strengths and weaknesses. So we acknowledge this and we complement one another. Leadership must be demonstrated by examples, not much point just talking about it. We need to be able to show the ESI, IDAP, for example, there are values that we instill in the group, but it must be shown rather than just talking about it. And inspire people through actions is another thing that is very, very important. But the most important thing, last but not least, is no shortcuts. So in our mentor-mentee group, now has become a research group, no shortcuts. Everybody has to learn how to write a proper grant and compete for grants, for example. and also write academic papers. So it's no room that for free riders or become a proxy PI of a research that you don't know about. There's no room in that in our mentor-mentee group. So there are countless ways to be great, but achieving one's maximum potential must be built on bedrock of respect for the individual, a commitment to excellence, and a rejection of mediocrity. So we all believe in this in our mentor-mentee group. So I'm going to finish off very soon. The delicate balance of mentoring someone is not creating them to be our own image, a splitting image of ourselves, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves. So this is very important as well, we feel, in our mentoring group. So I'm going to introduce you now to one of the best mentees that I have. She's going to share her experience. She was my student before, graduated with a Master of Family Medicine from UiTM. This is a 4-year specialist course, specialist qualification in our field. So she's now a lecturer in our department. She's done very well since the past 4 years, since her graduation, and just recently in January this year, she's been appointed as the head of department for our primary care medicine department. So I welcome Dr. Siti Fatimah Badr Sham to share her experience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everyone. Salam sejahtera. So I would like to thank Prof. Anis for the kind introduction, and I'm very humbled to be given the opportunity to share a little bit of my experience from the receiver end as a mentee. So as mentioned by Prof, I actually joined UiTM as a trainee lecturer in 2011. So Prof. Anis was my supervisor during my postgraduate studies as a trainee lecturer in the clinical master's program. So I am actually the first graduate from the Masters in Medicine Family Medical Program of UiTM in becoming a family medicine specialist. So throughout that period of the 4 years, the supervision was mostly concentrated on research activities and completion of theses, preparing for thesis viva. And it was also at this stage that I was introduced to Prof. David Whitford, who was Prof. Anis's mentor, and he also helped me to supervise me through the masters. But I think what's the most important is that after graduating, and I had returned to the department as a lecturer, subsequently as a senior lecturer, Prof. Anis continued to mentor me informally, in my career development within the Coaching for Performance mentoring group. So the group started off as a very small group. There was only about 2 or 3 mentees, but now we've expanded to be 9 of us altogether. So the mentoring came in the form of guidance in the fields of research, as mentioned by Prof. Anis, preparing manuscripts, submitting manuscripts, being involved in innovation competitions and being exposed, acquiring intellectual properties, writing proposals, submitting for national, international grants, and also increasing our networking. So, over the years, I used to be a student. Now I'm her work colleague. I'm a co-investigator in her grants. I'm a co-supervisor to her postgraduate students, both in the clinical masters and also the masters in research. And we have collaborated on many publications over the past 6 years. To me, I feel that Prof. Anis has been an exemplary personality in terms of leadership in the department, in the faculty, and also I perform. She has helped me develop the skills and also character building in the management of the department in terms of clinical practice, administration, multitasking, juggling between career and family, up to the point now that I am the head of the Department of Primary Care Medicine. So I believe that all in all, alhamdulillah, I have been very fortunate to have had a mentor who has helped me to develop professionally, academically, also personally. She has helped me develop a systematic, a very organized approach. She's a very meticulous person, and I have inculcated all these positive values in my work ethics. She gives a lot of constructive feedback, and the good thing is that she is also very receiving of comments. So I think this is very important in a mentor-mentee relationship, in that we're able to discuss together. So like Prof. Anis was mentioning, it's not just a one-way communication. It's not like a senior telling a junior what to do, but we're in constant communication and discussion on how to move forward. So over the many years, I have had the chance to be mentored by Prof. Anis for over about 8 years now. I think there are a few key points that I have learned as a mentee. For example, number one, having a strong relationship and a good rapport between a mentor and a mentee is extremely important, because it produces a conducive environment, allowing the mentee, to be able to improve and then to grow. And like Prof. Anis was saying, finding the balance between the mentee, blooming into herself or himself. Number two, having a group of mentees together, I think it somewhat helps us in moving forward together, because we're a very close-knit group. We are competitive, yes, but in a good way. We're very passionate about what we do. I think we're very resilient. And what's most important is that we actually support each other. We're very, very supportive of each other's strengths and achievements. And that as well is a motivation to move forward together, because kita rasa macam kita ada geng, kan? Number three, my experience as a mentee has helped me develop the skills to become a good mentor, a good and effective mentor to the students that I am now supervising, postgraduate and also undergraduate, and also the younger members of the department. And I just have one last point, which is my fourth point. Prof. Anis constantly reminds us that whatever we do in our tugas hakiki is actually an amanah. It's a responsibility that is answerable to Allah SWT. So if you have that in mind, whatever that you do in securing and managing your grants, in supervising your students, in doing clinical work and administrative work, you always have this notion that Allah is going to ask you about it at the end of the day. So you will do it with your best effort. You'll be very transparent and you'll be very truthful about it. So I think I've been very conscious of the time. I'll probably stop there. So thank you very much for this opportunity again. Assalamu alaikum.
Prof. Ayub, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay now.
Yeah. Now we're going to open a Q&A session for Professor Anis and also Dr. Siti Fatima to the audience. If you want to ask a question, please. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes, we can, Prof.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have echo because in this, yeah. In the chat box, we have actually few questions, but it's already been answered by our chairman, yeah, Professor Dr. Ahmad Sazali. So I think, yeah.
Perhaps I can ask one question, Prof. Ayub.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Prof. Anis and Dr. Fatima for a very enlightening presentation. Perhaps I can just pose one question to Prof. Anis and perhaps Dr. Siti Fatima. What do you find the most challenging element in mentoring? Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much, Prof. Yatin Hafizah, for the question. From my limit, experience in mentoring the people in my group just now, the most challenging, I would say, is to keep the motivation going. Because I feel that life is not always a bed of roses. To many of us, we are faced with challenges, sometimes personal challenges too. So whenever this happens, then we have to be there for one another. So I feel that mentoring is always a two-way process. It's not just about being mentor, knowing everything all over the all of the time. Sometimes as a mentor as well, we need support from our mentee. So so things like patting the back of each other when we are down actually keep the relationship going and the motivation going. For example, sometimes we go for research grants and we're not successful in the application, for example, or we send papers to high impact journal and we get rejections. So together we need to overcome all of these challenges. So not just professionally, but also in our personal life as well. So this is where the rapport and relationship going. So Alhamdulillah, in our group there, we know each other quite well as well because we are from the same background and from the same department. So I'm sure the challenges will be different if you're mentoring somebody which is not from the same field or you don't know very well. So maybe Dr. Siti Fatimah can help to answer that too.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Anis. I think from my side as a mentee, of course, there are many challenges because, again, it's not a bed of roses, ups and downs, sleepless nights, lots of tears, rejections, and those kind of things. But I think it's part of the journey that builds our character. And I think I mentioned in one of the points just now that sometimes being together is also good, but it drives a sense of competition as well between us. So I think one of the biggest things about that is trying to, say to ourselves that there's no need to be sangkaburo or, to have jealousy. It should be internalized and, made positive and be changed to a motivation instead. So I think that's one of the challenges that I feel as a mentor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Datin, Dr. Hafiza, for the question. So brilliant answer from Prof. Anis and Dr. Siti Fatimah. My timekeeper, I've got more time for questions. Oh, I'm so sorry that we have, time seems to be running out for both of you for question from the audience, but maybe they can come later, if in case if you have time, if time permits, they can still, ask question from you. Okay, we move along now to the next speakers. I'm going to invite Professor T.S. Dr. Muhammad Rusuf Mahmud and his mentee, Associate Professor in Senior T.S. Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Mamat. Okay, Professor Dr. Muhammad Rusuf is actually from Institute of Science, UiTM Shah Alam, and Dr. Muhammad Hafiz is from College of Engineering, UiTM Shah Alam. Please welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. Moderator, Prof. Ayub, for moderating us today. So, Alhamdulillah, welcome to all of you to our mentor-mentee session today. So, inshallah, I will try my best to share our, let me say, as our secret recipe, how we should be to be an excellence in the mentor-mentee program. So today I have invited one of my ex-PhD student, Associate Prof. IR, Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Mamat, as one of the representative from my ex-student. Actually, for your information, so far, saya rasa about more than 40 PhD graduates under my supervision, including me as a co-supervisor. And then more than 50 master students are graduated under my supervision, as well as final project also, I think more than 200. So, inshallah today, this is the content. Actually, I have tried to think about the easiest way, the easiest way to share with you all today related to how to be a mentor, how we should be a mentor and a mentee. So this is the contents of my presentation. First, I will introduce a bit related to structure of research methodology. Actually, this one is related to what to the things that what we should start from the beginning when we meet with the candidate to be our student. And then the second one is a motivation. As a motivation, I have considered as a motivation and as a what we call that the reference that I have considered in order in order to solve the research issues that I'm going to explain related to the topic that we are discussing today, that I'm going to explain after this. And then the third part of my focus discussion today is related to the issues on the research area and supervision system. So when we meet our student, as we all know, these are the things, okay, that we usually discuss with our student. So today, in my presentation, so for example, when we want to start the research with our student, or to introduce research with our student, this is number one, start that we talk about try to discuss with our student about the scientific knowledge. And then after that, go to the literature review, which also consists of the basic theory related to the title that our student wants to do with us, okay? And then, so here, related to my presentation today, when I want to enroll the student, these two things, 2A and 2B, usually in my mind, related to the research area. Who should be the main and co-supervisor? Is it me can be a main, or is it me can be a co-supervisor, or is it my area or not? This is the first thing that we should think. We cannot just terima saja student, cannot. So this is the issues in order to achieve that the key point to be an excellent in the mentor-mentee program. So the second one, the second issues is related to the supervision system. So what is the appropriate? What is the good the good supervision system that we should do, so that we are able to tackle the problem in the supervision, in order to produce high quality of student. So this is the motivation. So for me, I have graduated from Japanese University and have spent in Japan for more than 20 years. So this is actually the things that, okay, Japanese universities, you can refer to the reference, to the reference, okay, the Japanese universities, they consider this. Even in the industry, when I work in the industry also, most of the Japanese engineers also are considering this kind of things in their work. So the first, let's see, please see the curriculum based on knowledge experience. This one I have taken from the MJIT, okay, MJIT, UTM. This KES, and number 2 is they call it the Ningen Ryoku. This number 1 and number 2 is actually, if we try to relate with the mentee program, is how we need to teach our student, how we need to supervise our student. Start from the beginning, let's say from first semester, second semester, we can have a discussion, and then after that, we should go toward to make our supervisee, our mentee, can proceed research by their own. And then at the end, at the last semester, for example, or the second and last semester, we should think how we should do to make sure that our student can proceed their research by themselves alone. And then the third one also is the important thing in order to achieve the goals, okay, related to the supervision, is this one is senpai kohai. They call in Japanese, that means senior and junior relationship. This is very important. After this, I'm going to explain what does Japanese mean with the senior junior relationship, this mentor-mentee, not just the word of the mentor-mentee, how we need to understand related to the mentor and mentee. So with this is the first one. KES means at the beginning of the student's enrollment, we should make sure that our student has.
I'm so sorry, Prof. Yusuf, you're running out of time. You're running out of time.
Our time already, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. So related to the.
Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. Yeah.
Just 1 minute, Bob.
1 minute, last 1 minute.
This is the system that usually we. For me, I believe that we should make sure it's happen in our lab. For example, start from the beginning, final project. So like, for example, Dr. Hafiz, when he came as a master student. So I educate him to have a good relationship and teach our final project student. This kind of things. And then in our lab, we should have different group in our lab. with different specialization, with different area of research as well. So I think that's all Prof. Ayub from me related to the mentoring system. So maybe we can, Prof. Ayub, please proceed to the next.
Okay, so thank you very much, Professor. I think, sorry, because time seems to be running too short for you. I know that you want to talk a lot, whatever experience that you got from Japan. Yeah, we would also love to hear it. But seems time seems to be running too short. So I'm going to invite now Associate Professor IRTS Dr. Mahafiz, to share with us your experiences, as well as some key point toward this excellent mentor-mentee performance, maybe from the perspective of a mentee. Thank you very much.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to respected professors, doctors, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Prof. Ayub as our moderator for today's webinar, Professor as my mentor, and UiTM Council of Professors for giving this opportunity to share some view on the mentor-mentee program. So back in 2013, when I joined UiTM, so these were my problem during that time. So of course, as a young lecturer, we have these problems, lack of academic and research experience, limited skill for student supervision, and no fundings to do research and experiment. But Alhamdulillah, I'm very fortunate because Professor, my supervisor during my master and PhD program, so he helped me a lot on the academic research, academic and research activities to familiarize with the system of UiTM. He also got me on the student supervision on how to manage the students, to help the student to be successful in their research. He also guided me during that time to secure few grants, raise and REX grant for research funding, so that I have money support to start my research. And he also provide the platform and lab facilities to do research so that I can continue my research journey as academic staff in UiTM. Alhamdulillah. As a mentee, this is what I see only mentor as a person. So mentor is actually a person that has this expertise, vast experience or knowledge, which is valuable to others, and mentor hold very strong belief about helping people by sharing this knowledge with others. And mentor acts as a guide, advisor, and support structure to bring out the best in people by learning about their strengths and leveraging it to co-create a solution. And basically, mentor will encourage mentee to look beyond their own mental blocks and avoid mistakes that they have made in the past, so that we can skip a major problem. So as a mentee, these are the roles that we have to play. The first is to mentee draft a mentor-mentee relationship by determining the role model they wish to emulate and the goal they need to achieve through them. Both mentor and mentee understand that mutual understanding will grow over a period of time and builds upon their action. And we as a mentee should take advice from the mentor and act on it, or do not hesitate to share and voice out our opinion when it conflicts with the ideas. I think a great mentee knows the areas of their growth and development and seeks the kind of person they respect based on knowledge they possess. So for me, to make the mentor-mentee relationship long-lasting, I believe there are three things we need to do. First, we need to develop trust between mentor and mentee. So in order to make the mentor-mentee relationship successful, we need to trust each other. Otherwise, we will not happy to keep this going, and we will feel a burden in this program. So we need to form a personal connection to understand each other, principles and values, strengths and weaknesses. So what drives us and what we wish to achieve throughout this mentorship program. So how to develop this trust? I think we need to have a frequent discussion, communication, because it needs two-way communication, meeting face-to-face or online to discuss any issue, be honest with each other, and help each other even for a small thing. Next is commitment, and we have to commit each other to make this program successful. So mentor and mentee, I think they have their own roles. For mentee, most important is we have to commit to be available to the mentor at our agreed time, both physically as well as mentally. Take mentors' advice seriously and be open to share our perspectives and ideas. We have to act on the advice and share our learning with the mentors. Sometimes it may fail, but to give up, the important thing is we need to put our effort and try until we succeed. And be honest in our talk, we mentor and we harbor. Last but not least, we need to collaborate to achieve results. So mentor and mentee need to collaborate and support each other for any academic and research activities. For example, in publishing papers, applying research grants, student supervision, etc., so that we can create a strong mentor-mentee relationship and build a strong trust. So if we do this, I think we can create successful mentor-mentee program and contribute to the UiTM performance. So I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. Over to you, Prof.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz. I think you're really on time, actually. All right, now we're going to open for Q&A session from the audience. Please ask your question, yeah, because we have two prominent speakers here, yeah. Prof. Russo and also Dr. Hafiz, okay, I can just simply mention to you they have massive achievement. For example, like for Prof. Yusuf, already graduate 50 students, yeah. And for the case of Dr. Hafiz, he graduated 4 PhD students, and 3 of the 4 students received the Royal Chancellor Excellent Doctor Award and Excellent Research Award. So a really massive achievement. So don't hesitate to ask questions to these very prominent speakers.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Selamat Hari Raya Aidil Adha. I am Shikin here. Assalamualaikum.
Yeah, please.
Prof. Muhammad, thank you so much. I did WhatsApp. I did chat in the room to request a copy of these slides because he did not manage to finish his slides just now. Is it possible?
Yeah, possible.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We will
Inshallah,
try
Encik
to
Bob
provide
akan email.
the copy of the slide to all the audience. Yeah, we'll do that later. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes.
Yeah, Prof. Ayub, may I have a question? Hello.
Ya, Prof, dipersilakan, Prof.
Okay, alright. Saya nak bertanya kepada Dr. Hafiz, ya.
Yes, Prof. Hadiani.
Yeah, okay, alright. So it is very. You have been with Prof. Yusuf, your mentor for a long time, daripada masters, PhD, and now working as a cadet. Okay, I'm sure your relationship has developed daripada pelajar dengan pensyarah, pada supervisor dan sebagainya. Now you are a colleague. How do you free yourself from your mentor? Okay, because I think in order to grow, I'm sure you have done this, I've seen you have done this. In order to grow, you need to free yourself and not become dependent on the mentor. Okay, so can you share a little bit of this experience from this aspect? Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Diani. So I think when we work as a staff in UiTM, I think we have our own motivation, we have our own direction. So actually, after my PhD completed, what we do is actually we try to communicate to each other to make sure that our relationship is, ini berlaku lah kan. So that's the things that we did dalam masa ni lah. And then saya rasa mentor actually sebab we as a new lecturer ataupun sekarang ni, I think I still new here, we need somebody to guide us even if we feel that we have skills to move alone kan. But I think the mentor always needed because it will guide us untuk to be successful lah. So for me, no matter whatever you achieve in your career, kan, tapi I think mentor is very important to guide you, to advise you and so on. So itu pendapat saya, Prof.
Yes, Prof. Muhammad Yusuf, can you share again what are the difference when you were in Japan for 20 years and in Malaysia compared to Malaysia system? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Maybe I can say budaya is a bit different. Katakan dalam mentor-mentee system, kan, yang saya ada jelaskan tadi sedikit berkaitan dengan senior junior, kan. Jadi in Japanese mentoring system, the junior should prove that they have enough knowledge. Okay, enough knowledge, and in order enough knowledge to show to their senior that they have enough knowledge. So always meeting, always asking. Yang ni saya rasa lain sikit. Kalau kat Malaysia mungkin kalau tak tanya, mungkin junior tak akan tanya soalan. Kalau di sana junior akan try their best to prove that they have the knowledge so that they can be together with their senior. So this not only related to the senior and junior between the student, but also between the lecturers, between the supervisors. Maybe in Malaysia is a bit different. Over there, they always consider the senior as a senior and they as a junior will try to prove that they have the knowledge and try to discuss with their senior. I think this kind of things is a bit challenge to be happen in Malaysia. Saya rasa benda this kind of things, Prof. Thank you.
Yep.
Prof. Rusop, yeah, sorry, we're running short of time for Q&A. Yeah, so thank you very much. If you have a question for Prof. Rusop, probably later on, we can, allow you to ask at the end of the program if time permits, okay? So we move along now. Thank you very much for Prof. Rusop and also Dr. Hafiz for your really valuable experience, okay? We really appreciate that. We move along now to the next speakers. I'm going to invite Professor Dr. Nur Suryati Jamil from Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences, UiTM Shah Alam, and also her mentee, Dr. Rasida Hamzah, also from the same faculty, to be on screens now. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Ayub. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to everybody. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to share with everybody about our experience in our mentoring journey. Yeah, so Dr. Rashida was my PhD student. She enrolled in 2012, and that was late 2012. Going into 2013, and she finished in early 2016. So I think I'm not sure how Dr. Rashida came upon choosing me as the supervisor, but I assume because she was working on about the same area, yeah, which is speech processing as me. So I believe she was assigned to me as a supervisor. So before that, we actually do not know each other, yeah. So Rashida was a TPM scholar, tenaga pengajar muda. So we started as our relationship as a supervisor and a student, yeah. But along the way, I think we have grown into a relationship as friends, and so I believe that what I'm going to share here is basically on our personal experience. Yeah, what we think that what makes our mentoring journey a very happy and a successful journey. So as a mentor, I think the first thing that here I put three main keys that I think are most important as a mentor. So we need to have very good rapport with our mentee. I think Prof. Anis just now also mentioned that along the way, because when I started with Rashida, she was doing her PhD. So when you do your PhD, it's actually a family journey. It involves the whole family, especially for a lady. Yeah. So I make sure I have a good relationship with her and also her family. So she has very small children. They were a young couple. So those they have still family issues that actually not we need to be involved because it is part of the journey. So we always have to be present for each other all the time. Yeah. So whenever there is an obstacles that happen, which happen quite many times along our journey, we need to rearrange. We need to understand our priorities. So we give rooms for everybody to move comfortably during the journey. Okay, another point is that I think it's important that we establish synergy between mentor and mentee. In a mentor and mentee relationship or coaching relationship, we believe that our opinion matters, not only the mentor's opinions, but the mentee's opinion also matters. So in any task or in any research or in any decision that we have to make, we always deliberate, we always discuss, we argue a lot. She has her own opinion, I have my own opinion, but what matters is at the end of the day, we respect each other's opinion and we come to a one conclusion for the solution or for the task that has to be done. So synergy is very important. But at the same time, both mentor and mentee need to have clear roles and expectation. So normally as a mentor, the previous I think the previous pairs, mentors and mentees, has mentioned a lot about no spoon feeding, that everybody knows what their roles are. So this is also very important. So mentors need to only guide and show the correct directions. Yeah. So and mentees has to know what are their roles, and we always have set deadlines whenever we need to do a task or anything that need to be done. Deadlines have we always set deadlines. So and then we specifically specify what are the roles that each of us has to play.
Sorry, Prof.
Oh,
Sorry, Prof.
already?
No, Suryati, let's Prof. Lisa. I think time seems to be running too short.
Okay, all right.
Maybe you can again, give your share your experience during Q&A, right? Because we
Okay,
have to move along to your mentee now. Let me invite Dr. Rasida Hamza to the screen to share with us your experience as a mentee.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all professors, doctors and friends. For today, I just would like to share my journey as a supervisee and mentee of Prof. Nusriati Jamil, as known as Prof. Liza. Okay, I started my PhD in 2012. It was the first time I met Prof. Liza. It my pen interview. That is okay. I'm so grateful she was my mentor because a lot my research because so interested in research. This is it is why I changed my career from engineer to lecturer. Okay, so she not only teaching me a big things, but it is also small things like how to write, how to present in a conference. In fact, I was given many good opportunities during my PhD study. I went to Korea to present my research work. Although it was just the first year of my study in 2012, it is not only I managed to found new researchers to build up my networking and to present my work. Because it was only 3 years of my marriage at that time, and I only have one kid, and I feel glad because it was like my second funded educational honeymoon. Thanks, Prof. Okay, and then I also was given opportunity to went to Queensland University and to meet with other researchers and also professors there, and to share our research work. During my PhD study, I managed to publish 4 Scopus Index publications, and I managed to get a Best Paper Award. And then I also get one FRGS grant with the amount of 63,000. During my PhD, when I feel down, I purposely will text Prof. Liza, or I will purposely email her because I just want to get some feedback so that I can build up again my momentum during my PhD study. And I really admire the way she write in her papers. So I follow the way she wrote in each of her paper. And then after I finished my PhD in 2016, I become a young lecturer in FSKM, and I got carried away like I was her student, and I feel glad that I know her because not so many people I know in the faculty, and I keep on get guidance from her. Okay. Until now, I managed to get 3 grants, which is local grants from UiTM with the amount of 33,000, and national grant of FRGS Racer, and also industrial grant of 83,000. So all of this grant is guided by her. She keeps on coaching me in research, teaching, and also in other things during my journey. So I hope I still get the advice from her so that I can use this model to supervise my student, because in my opinion, mentor and mentee is very important so that we can sustain this successful model to the next generation in our supervision. So that's all from me today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Liza, and also her mentee, Dr. Rasida, for sharing your valuable experience with us. Yeah, because they are both in a very important area actually. Yeah, machine learning, artificial intelligence, everything. Okay, I'm going to open now to Q&A session for these 2 brilliant speakers to the audience. Please ask question. Yes.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Yeah.
I'm Dr. Marina here. So I would
Yes,
like
Dr.
just to
Marina.
ask Prof. Liza, in terms of this mentor and mentee system here, should the mentee be assigned to the mentor, or should both parties agree for the mentoring? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Marina. Okay, in my case with Dr. Rashida, maybe Dr. Rashida can help me answering this question because I don't know why she chose me as a supervisor. Yeah, but Alhamdulillah, we manage a good relationship up until now. Yeah, even though I think Rashida has has spread her wings. She has co-supervision with other people. She has done publication with other people. Because I don't want her to be overshadowed by the mentor. I want her to spread her own wings, have her own directions later on. Yeah. But back to Dr. Marina's question, I think even if the mentoring is, if the mentee is assigned to a mentor, they should have a common directions or a common research interest or a common goal. That's very important. Otherwise, it's quite difficult to because we have if we have very different school of thoughts, that would be very difficult to maintain and sustain a relationship. Dr. Rashida, you want to add to that?
Okay. I think I choose Prof. Liza as my mentor because I feel I have the chemistry to excel, to develop my work, my research, my path as a lecturer and also a student. As a mentee, we know who is the person that suitable to guide us. And these are the 10 things I respect my mentor. That is how I think it is actually more than this. This is 10 of them.
All right, Prof. Ayu. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so any more questions from the audience? How much time that we have? Maybe 1 minute, one more minute. If you don't have any more questions from the audience, maybe if you have a question, maybe they can ask later, right? At the end of the show. Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Liza, and also Dr. Rashida for your valuable experiences. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, we move along now to the next speakers. Okay, I'm going to invite Professor Dr. Imbarin Bujang from the Faculty of Business and Management, UiTM Sabah branch, and his mentee, Dr. Felicia Rimin, also from the same faculty. On screen now, please welcome. So, Prof. Imbarin, all yours now, yeah.
All right. Can you hear me, Prof. Ayub?
Yeah. Loud
Okay.
and clear. Loud and clear. Thank you very much.
All right. I think like Professor Yati need to to stop sharing because I need to share my slide.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Dr. Rashida, can you stop sharing? I think it's Dr. Rashida.
Dr. Rashida, can you stop
Dr.
sharing?
Rashida, yeah. Dr. Rashida, please stop sharing so
Rashida,
that
stop sharing,
Prof.
Rashida.
Imbarin can actually share his slides. Yeah.
All right. Share. Okay. Can you see my slide?
Yeah.
All right.
It's clear
Okay.
now. It's clear.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Yusuf. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone here. So I think just for today's presentation, probably like I'm not going to do what is the definition of the mentor and mentee. I think like most of the speaker already cover about that. So, but the sharing that I'm going to do today is actually how we actually going to achieve a certain KPI, or maybe as part of the career development of with my mentee. So So I think like I just straight away with what is actually we done with the model that we already developed. Okay, and then this is actually the basis that I use as a mentor to develop my mentee in terms of how to going to be an holistic of academicians. Yeah, right. So if we look at the next slide, yeah. Okay. Before that, okay. Let me introduce you a bit about my mentee. Yeah? I get to know my mentee. I think back to 2010 when I just coming back from my PhD in Australia. So I think at the time she was the part-time lecturer as well as the convert to the contract lecturers. And I think like now she actually just finished her PhD with me under my supervision. I think like back to February 2021. So I think it's a very long journey, but I think like let me look at what are the model that we're looking at. Yeah. Right. Basically, the mentor-mentee coverage is actually based on I put that into 7 elements here. Okay. We look at the part. The first part is a teaching and learning. This is about the qualifications of the academic the lecturers. And the second one, we look at the research, innovation, and supervision. And the next one is actually social responsibility, leadership quality, internationalization, consultation, grant, industry participant, and the last one is the soul. Okay, the soul that we put here is actually to look at how we going to maintain the what do you call the soul of being an academician, both extrinsic and intrinsically, right? So at the end of the day, you know, like what we need to my mentee understand, you know, like this is the cover, the element that what you need to look at, then you going to blend the all this element. And this is actually we back to our motto with UiTM 2125 to unleashing potential, shaping the future, right? So when we have that at the end of the day, what we can see, you know, like we can actually can provide the career development and also the work satisfaction. And I believe it also will give the benefit for the future generation of the country because as academician, there will be a element of the long life learning. Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm not going to cover one by one over there. I'm going to ask, you know, like my mentee to talk about that, what actually they've gone through all this process. Yeah. Okay, over to you, Dr. Felicia.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's almost good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for this full opportunity given me to share some of the meaningful journeys gone through while under the supervisions of Professor. Okay, so everyone knowledge, I am actually one of our else. Well, I've started my journey with UiTM Sabah as a part-time lecturer, contract lecturer in 2010, yeah, while pursuing my master's science in business management. So after obtaining my TPM, okay, I have resigned from teaching and I continue to do my master as a full-time student. So this is where I begin as a supervisee or mentee under the supervisions of Professor Dr. Imbarin Bujang. Okay, and the process continued well as my friends and I embark in DBA in 2018, where a majority of us are colleagues, and there's 11 of us lah, okay, under his guidance as main supervisor. All right, next slide, Prof. Okay, next slide. Okay, as everyone can see in this slide, these are just some of the memories, yeah, that we have gone through prior to Viva Voce, where these are basically initiative, yeah, done by our supervisor, Professor Dr. Imbarin, to assist us in our writing progress, where he set up a gathering with the course supervisors and discuss our writing stages with them. So from this initiative, what I've learned is something valuable in supervision. Is in order to supervise a student successfully, it is also equally important for main and course supervisor to develop a good relationship and effective communications, okay, of the students' progress. Yeah. Okay. Next slide, Prof. Thank you. Okay. In this slide, These are basically some of my publications and innovations during my studies. I have just my DBA recently, and I have to thank Professor Dr. Imbarin Budaya that from not being able to publish for Q1 and Q2 paper, I have now gained the confidence and knowledge in writing a paper for publications. Okay, of course, these are just small achievements compared to everyone who have experience in writing papers for years. But for somebody like me, well, okay, these are very important learning process and very meaningful where some of the KPIs lies after this. Okay, same thing, innovation. It is a new beginning for all of us as the mentees. With this award, it basically builds a good enthusiasm to do more. Okay, now as you can see up here, the image. This is one of my favorite journey during my studies as well, because I'm given a chance to experience our papers at an international conference where the Professor Dr. was invited as a keynote speaker during the conference. So what most important during the conference is not just about to obtain feedbacks for your studies and build networks, but I've also learned to understand my friends, whom a majority of them are my colleagues, and get to share their experiences during the presentation, improve one another. Okay, and yeah, the next slide. Okay, on the leadership quality, I am currently one of the resource person for BA 119, Diploma in Banking Studies, and also the coordinator for practical training BA 242. I've started developing this quality after I finished with Professor Dr. Imbarin, when he was the coordinator of degree in finance and the lead for BA 119 Anchor Campus. So from here, he had groomed our leadership skill, the resource person, building trust through responsibilities, working together as a team. Okay, yes, next slide. Thank you, Prof. Okay, last but not least, on the internationalization part. Okay, these are some of the memories carry on from presenting our papers at the University of Oxford, as you can see here, where the experiences also came from visiting one of the Malaysia's overseas investment made by the PNB, which is the aviation house in London. Okay, so from here we've learned that through design, technology, and hospitality, it basically create a community that systematically have meaningful impact on the work tasks, right? And finally, okay, I also had the chance to participate in some of the projects under Professor Dr. Imbarin, where he provided us the opportunity to build networking with the industrial sectors. So this actually increases our credibility and knowledge, knowledge application towards our field. Okay, so these are some of the pictures lah. All right, and next one. Okay, so for the social responsibilities activities, I think I have to return this with as I am here to experience this, but it has already begun with some of the mentees due to their collaboration in some of the students' assessment under the degree subject. Okay, thank you, Prof. Over to you.
Okay. So, okay, thank you very much, Prof. Imbarin, and also Dr. Felicia for sharing your experiences.
Prof. Ayub, I still have another few. Just maybe 1 minute. Okay. Right.
Maybe 1 minute will be because we still have Q&A session after this for you.
Okay. So these are the six elements that we call as a social responsibility activities. Means that I developed this program with my mentee, another one mentee, which we actually try to alert what is actually the current problem at the state level. Then we just give what we call as our activity, like by giving the finance knowledge to the school level and to all the main district in Sabah. Yep. And the number 7 that, as I mentioned in the diagram just now, is actually we're talking about the soul. We encrypting means that we want them to be an academic, a true academician. One of the things that they already realized that they have become a teacher means that the soul of academician must be there, both intrinsic and intrinsically. Yeah. Okay, these are the 7 model. After they blend this model, so then we have to develop their plan. Okay, what actually my mentee should do? Okay, started from, if they started the career from 41, 40 or 55, and how they're going to manage it until they can get until the BQ5. Yeah. So by having understand what are the requirements for each level. Yeah. Right. So and the last one is actually, I think I always mention this to my mentee. I said, like, there must be yourself. Yeah. And then I, based on this book, there's 101 rules, okay, in leadership. So by Richard Templer, I put the number 88 and also 59 because I believe that like every individual, they have their own standard they can achieve in their different way. And because when we just guide them, but in terms of
Sorry,
execution.
Praveen Barin,
Yeah.
time is running short now. Yeah.
All right,
So
that's it.
about time that we have here.
That's
For
it.
you. Okay, we're going to go to a Q&A session for Prof. Imbarin and also Dr. Felicia. Please ask question because Professor Dr. Imbarin has got very massive achievement. So far, he's got 5 PhD, if not mistaken, right? With GOT, am I right? And so far, he has got already graduated 16 PhD students. Yeah. So, and moreover, they are actually from branch campuses, and moreover, they are also from the social science area. Yes, people from the social science area. Please ask question from these prominent speakers, please.
Prof Ayub.
Any questions from
Prof Ayub,
the floor?
May I ask one question? Prof
One question.
Imbarin,
Yeah.
kita
Yes, Prof
selalu
Ayub.
dengar kan? Kita selalu dengar. We usually hear they are telling that in social science very difficult to publish a paper. Could you give comment related to this?
Yeah, very good question, actually, Professor. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Professor. Anyway, to answer that questions, I think like I also keep on improving myself, okay, to learn and how we going to manage to get the paper published. But from my experience, and after a couple of years, when discovering the requirement of the journal, the type of the journal, and also level of the journal. So I think like there are some important elements that we have to consider before we go for the publication. So understanding what is the requirement, what is actually the target of the publisher is very important. And also, like the key secret, of the why we easily manage to get the published easier, because we play around with the title of the paper. Okay, for example, I think the latest one we use the words of dangling a carrot. Does the CEO's compensation really boost the accounting conservatism? That's the kind of title that you have to play around, because social sciences, the most important thing, if you want to get more cited, like you have to be attracted in terms of how you're going to attract people to read the journal, and then what is the latest contribution, and how you're going to contribute the further latest development in certain area. That is only my comment, Professor.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, so thank you very much for Imbarin for the very, very good, deliberation actually. So so far, what we can actually conclude, there's no excuses now, right? For not, doing research, doing publication, just because we are from a social science area whatsoever, right? Because Prof. Imbarin already proved to us that, he can actually do research as well as, publish papers. Yeah, and moreover, he's actually from branch campuses. No excuses whatsoever for all UiTM staff now, yeah, especially for the academic staff. I think we don't have that much time left, right, for Q&A session. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the next speakers. Okay, we're going to call now Professor Dr. Zuraida Muhammad Sanusi. The director from Institute of Leadership and Development, Bandar and Stack, and her mentee, Associate Professor Dr. Razana Juhaida Johari from Faculty of Accountancy, UiTM Selangor branch, to share with us your experience. Please welcome Prof. Zuraida and also Dr. Razana on screen now.
Yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm so
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
excited.
wabarakatuh. Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here. Excited to hear your voice,
Yes, please.
Dr.
Yeah,
Ayub,
sure.
from the beginning until now, you still bersemangat. So I can challenge myself as well.
Yeah.
To be
Definitely.
bersemangat like you. Yeah.
Because I learned from you actually.
Alamak. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Ayub. Thank you, Prof. Russo, for organizing this together with us, and Prof. Sazali, and the rest professor, associate professor, doctor, and all the participants today. The thing that I would like to share actually, maybe to the different, a little bit different, because of two things. One is because I'm holding a post at ILD, also embarking a program, a mentoring program. Maybe I need to explain a little bit later. The program will be different from what that we are having today, but it's a very, very good program today where it's complement each other in the sense that to see the real evidence. This is the thing that you cannot get from normal training. You can understand the theory, but here is the evidence, the real evidence, how that being practiced and the successful story to be shared, right? I invited my mentee, is Associate Professor Dr. Razana, because she's one of the seniors, the earlier part when she's as my PhD student. I have only 5 things to share, in the sense that I suka angkat tangan so that everyone can remember. Senang, I tak, kalau pilih 10 jari nanti banyak sangat jari nak keluar. So I choose 5 areas here to make sure that all my mentee would have this exposure. So with these 5 things, I call it spiral effect. If you hit all these 5, that means you're complete. If you cannot get complete for this whole 5, then that means there is another thing that you need to find another mentor. For your information, you are free to choose another mentor. You know, I myself have 3 mentors. I always mention this many times, and I'm so proud with my mentor. Sampai sekarang pun I would have breakfast with my mentor. One of them would be Professor Emeritus Dr. Takia Iskandar. She was the Dean at UKM and my supervisor. Prof. Ibrahim Kamal, the previous Dean in Accountancy, and also maybe most of you would know Professor Dr. Norma Omar. All these would have a very, very good quality, and they love to see the development of their staff. Of course, last time we don't call it mentee because it's not a formal one, right? But I always perceive that they are my mentor without the appointment letter pun. But the respect to them, I get all these 5 being, moving forward. So if I know that this is the thing from the beginning, they will be faster. Last time it's not that easy. Of course, we don't have the PhD program at early stage of our career. But then all this being picked up very fast, and I will share with you. For example, today when I said that why I choose Dr. Razana, because it goes to the second layer already. I'm now using tadi produce, so you implement like a Japanese theory kan, how to supervise sampai ke level-level yang bawah, where the senior also supervise. I cuma call it konsep payung lah, sebab ada maknanya those yang senior must monitor their junior in that sense. So I have that concept payung. They must help each other. And kalau Dr. Razana dulu, she was my supervisee, and now I with her supervise another student, where I'm the main and she's the second supervisor. And then now dia dah move lagi to be the main supervisor, and I don't mind to be together with her. I am being the co-supervisor for her. So as much as possible, I'm now being, I want to see all my mentee already moving forward to be the leader, to lead whatever the project, either the supervision to the research grant. Last time I would push her for all the research grant, whatever, just name it. This is my forte, my passion, obviously. whoever in my group, I macam as much as possible to bring her together. But now she's already in the second stage. Second stage means I keep asking her in the sense that does she lead or not a research project? She need to lead. Although I am the mentor, I will make sure that she will be leading whatever the project, the research grant, and the innovation. This is the best thing lah. Although we are from social science, we are so passionate in coming up with products. And Dr. Ayub, I was so happy with you. So happy when Prof. Ayub and Ari, we can materialize more products together, yeah. But here, all the mentees we need to deliver the products and to understand how to develop product for social science. Is no joke, man. But it become real when we try to put in a synergy, in that sense. So then also the publication. When we go for this, I'm so fortunate that Razana, I mean, she's passionate in terms of writing, but it's not about co-authorship in from the supervisory team, but also we try to hit other members in other overseas, because to make sure that it become materialized publication in Q1, Q2, and it's being cited. You need to part together with another professor. Masa last time tu, I'm not a professor yet. I'm still associate professor. So we work hard to be.
I'm so sorry, Prof. Zuraida. Time is running too short. I know that I would love to hear you talking more and more, but time is running too short. Maybe we can leave it for Q&A. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
So
Okay.
we're going to invite now. Yeah, we're going to invite Prof. Zuraida's mentee, Associate Professor Dr. Razana Johari, to share with us your experience as a mentee. Please, yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, Prof. Ayub. Okay, and also for the UiTM, of course, the so okay, happen for us. Okay, the mentees to share some of our secret recipe, I think. Okay, with my mentor. Okay, so of course, as mentioned just now, okay, we started our relationship in 2009. Okay, I'm from the branch campuses actually. So coming here to do the PhD, okay, we are actually being matched by Prof. Noma and also Prof. Rashida, okay, who used to be the mentor for Prof. Zu. All right. So in order to get to know her better, I started to build up a good relationship between supervisor and supervisee. So to be in that stage, okay, whatever she asked me to do, although it is not directly related to my research work, but I still commit myself to do it and try to meet her expectations. Okay, for all of us know, Prof. Zu is very high expectation, and I actually at that time quite dying to meet her expectation. Okay, so during my PhD, I got involved in many research grants, her research grants, and also in her consultation works. All right, and on top of that, of course, she will ensure that my PhD progress went well. Okay, she always push me to do something that I think at that time I am not ready for it. Okay, so I still remember, in my second sem of study, okay, I got pregnant. And then this is what she said to me, Razana, before you take your maternity leave, get some data on any of your IVs. All right, so that after you coming back from the maternity leave, you can have something to write and publish and present it. All right, Alhamdulillah, okay, after coming back from the leave, so I presented a paper in one of the UKM conferences and got the best paper there. So that is where it sparked my interest, okay, in writing, in presenting, and also in publishing, okay, the research work together with her, okay, at that time during the PhD study, okay. So I would also have learned from Prof. Zuraida, okay, the motto of give more to get more. All right, she always actually practiced that. I observed that she give more and vice versa, she got more. All right. So what I meant from this is she consistently, okay, encouraged me to be part of others. Okay, we are having such a close relationship. So without doubt, of course, I will always share with her any issues that arise. Okay, so she used to tell me, I still remember until now, no matter how busy you are with your own study, but try to give help to anybody that need your assistance. Okay, so this is due to actually one incident that I shared with her. Okay, I was attended one statistical workshop, and being approved by another participant to help her in her analysis. And at that time, I also very hectic with my own analysis part. All right, so that's why I shared with her, and that is her answer to me. So from there, I think that I cannot be selfish in what I'm doing on my own. Okay, so another thing that I got from our relationship is the importance of being together. Okay, being together, working together, and having a good teamwork actually. So these are all translated in and from our research grant groups. All right. And of course, our spin-off projects that has opened up many opportunities for me, all right, for me and also for other team members. Okay, for example, yeah, we are having networking with other researcher, okay, becoming a speaker in national and international levels, okay, as what we can see now on the slides. Okay, so these are among the places that we went together or the one that I went alone, okay, on her advice, all right? Okay, so these are the one that mostly of the places that I went during my PhD study. Okay, and also the networking with the people, okay, the researcher from Japan, okay, from the Perth, all right, from Yogyakarta also we have, all right. So I think this opportunity, okay, have been given to me, all right, by making me ready, okay, to become a speaker in national and international levels, and also it also increased my supervision skills, okay, which has been developed from time to time. Okay, started with co-supervising with Prof. Zhu, all right, and now I am supervising my own PhD students, okay, as the main supervisor, as been mentioned just now by Prof. Okay, and I think this is my last thing that I need to say today is implicitly, Prof. Zhu has provided me a training platform actually, During the period of my PhD study, she has made me ready to become, to actually ready to the real post-PhD academic life. All right. So Alhamdulillah, yeah, today I myself has been appointed by the faculty to become a mentor to a group of DP lecturers. Okay, being appointed as one of the faculty's research cluster head. Okay, and also lead several research grants, right? And internationally, I have also been appointed as the speakers, as the visiting professors in 2 universities in Indonesia and also one in India. So I think that this opportunity or this courage will not be with me
I'm
if
so sorry, Dr. Razana. I think time is running short for you.
I'm about to finish now.
Thank
All right?
you very
Okay,
much.
my
Yeah, thank you
last
very much
sentence.
for a
So
very
I hope that
inspiring.
yeah.
It's always, inspiring, to hear when all these passionate researchers, talking. Yeah, we get inspired actually. Okay, I've got few,
Thank you, Prof. Ayub.
message and also maybe some comment from the chat box here from Dr. Siti Sarah here. We love to hear from more from Prof. Zuraida. And then also from Zaf. Yes, it's too short. And also another from Zaf as well. A good experience sharing. Maybe no to be part 2, part 3. Yeah, we will do that. Yeah, so why we call it our webinar series. 1, 2, and 3 later on. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
inshallah.
also from Nur Hoslinda. Yes, I agree. Too short of time, but too many successful stories to be shared. Okay. Now we're going to open for Q&A session for Prof. Zuraida and also Dr.
Program, okay, for international universities, okay, it actually has given me a view, a different view, okay, different view in terms of how to actually face the market that not so normal to us. Okay, in Malaysia, I think we are more comfortable to present, to talk on something or what that we might have to share with our audience in Malaysia. But then, especially in India, I found that okay, there is an language barriers actually. I'm quite hard to understand because they have their own slang, right? So these are the things that I think I need to cater, okay, in order to become more presentable, all right, to become more convincing to talk with the international audience, okay. So I think these are all the things that have been exposed to me from my PhD studies, because from during my PhD studies, okay, I have presented the paper in Norway, in Germany, okay, in Beijing. So these are the things that make me have that such of courage to try, okay, to actually contribute, okay, not only locally, but of course internationally, Prof.
Thank you.
Welcome, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rosanna, yeah, for the answers. Any more question? How many more minutes actually? 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah.
Dr. Farid, yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Ahmad Farid. Yes.
Prof and
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
okay, how we are going or we managed to close the gap between mentor and mentee, because as we know that mentee, of course, they feel that the gap with the mentor is quite big. So how to get what I mean the closing the gap so that we can have a chemistry between both parties.
Tu saya punya chemistry ni. Kena tanya orang chemical engineering lah macam Dr. Ayub ni kan. Chemistry. Good question. I think thank you for the question, Dr. Ahmad Farid. My objective now actually is to produce a successful the mentees that the mentees now to become a successful mentor. That means they know also how to bring up their the mentees yang bawah lagi to close the gap lah tadi kan, to understand them. I think tak ada nama lain lah. Kalau you buat PhD, you need the word perseverance tu kan. I think being a mentor, you need the perseverance and also the kesabaran yang sangat tinggi lah. So that is you need to be patient. You need to push them again and again. Tapi you I think bila I buat research ke, I buat networking ke, I buat whatever pun, kita jangan cepat claim that is our work, right? So then you keep motivate them, saying that that is their work. You acknowledge their work, then you lagi bersemangat nak produce more. Therefore, we tak underestimate what they are doing, and I get more lah. I get more because I keep pushing them and I acknowledge them. So sama lah bila publication pun memang nama dia kat depan. Kalau nak pergi international pun I nak dia ke depan. Tapi itulah kena sabar because not everyone to be a leader, to push ke atas lagi tu, for them to be a leader tu dia ada yang tu I really that is my learning stage now actually. I want to make sure that all my mentee boleh jadi macam Razana now. So that is how to bring, yang you nampak Razana ni satu kan, dia ada payung tadi kan, payung tu dia lebar lagi dan I nak dia macam macam piramid kan. Okay, Dr. Farid.
Thank you, Prof. InsyaAllah.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to open more questions from the audience, but same time to seem to be running too short. Maybe we can push it to the end of the program, yeah? Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Zuraidah and also Dr. Razana to be in our program. Yeah, we love to hear from you more, maybe in the part 2 and part 3 webinar series from, Council of Professors, inshallah, in the future. Okay, next I'm going to invite another pair of mentor-mentees to the program. Professor TS Dr. Engineer Oscar Hasdino Hassan from Institute of Science, UiTM Shah Alam, and his mentee, Dr. Muhammad Faris Muhammad Taib from Faculty of Applied Science, UiTM Shah Alam. On screen now.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. Yes.
Thank you, Prof. Ayub, for being the moderator this afternoon already. Okay, and then I would like to thank Prof. Russo to invite us to this event, and also to thank Prof. Sazali, so the part of the Majlis Professor UiTM event. So I would like to start my sharing with these pictures. All right. So we have here the generation of mentors. Okay, so if you on the most left, you can see here my mentor, Professor Mahzul Azhan. He's currently Deputy Vice Chancellor Student Affairs in UPNM. And beside me is Professor Abdul Karim Aruf. mentor of Prof. Zul Azhan. Okay, and this young handsome guy is Dr. Muhammad Faris, my mentee today. So this picture, we like this picture very much because it shows that all mentors start as a mentees first. Okay, so this is the pictures is talking about. All right. So a little bit about myself. Okay, I got my PhD from Germany. So I remember the date. It was 15 January 2010. I also this on this day, Friday. Friday. Today's Friday. So after Viva, finish Viva, then we have what we call a doctorhood ceremony. So you can see this is the hat. Actually, it's a doctor hat. In Germany, we call it doctorhood. So this hat represent myself, my research work, and you can see the Malaysian flag there, and this is my supervisors putting me actually at that time. So and on top of this hat, that I think this is my crystal structure, and some bunch of this prepared by my colleague. Then after that, I come back to UiTM, and then I joined RMI in June 2010. And at that time, the RMI was very active driving a research proposal. I think FRJS. I think at that time we were the #1 in terms of submission, or close to 1,000 proposals. Okay, that's a very interesting experience. Okay, and then on 2013 I received my first grant of about 500K, and then on 2014 I joined Core, and then and the same year my PhD student graduated, and that PhD student is Dr. Faris. And then I carry on to become director of National Design Center under the Faculty of Art and Design, Deputy Dean, Research and Innovation, also in the Faculty of Art and Design. After my tenure, then currently I am at IOS as a fellow, and because I need to accelerate my research, and then we are also planning to to take all this fundamental funding into products, and then maybe we're going for commercialization. So then in that way, we also need to collaborate with the Faculty of Art and Design in terms of design support and so on. So that's a little bit about me. Not much. Okay. Actually, my title we call it Doctor ING, means Doctor Engineer. If it's a female, then we call it Doctor Engineering. Okay. So just to share something about it. And so my perception as a mentor, very simple. I like to welcome, and then after welcome, then I would like to guide them, right? Especially it's a transformation process. Yeah. If you are from non-UiTM, you join UiTM, you're just not joining as a lecturer, you're also joining as what you call a government servant. So you have to know how the government operation, you have to also know how the university operate in line with the government operation. This is very important that we have to share with our mentee. And then of course we have to inspire them in how to contribute to the organization, all right? So this is also very important. And then most important thing, we have to be happy, and the mentee also have to be happy, especially managing the challenges. There are many challenges, especially new lecturers. So they need to catch up. They need to tackle the teaching and learning, for the first time. They need also to think about continuing their research when they are doing PhD. So a lot of things. So that is challenging. So they first they have to be positive, and then they have to be happy about it. Okay. So that is my perception of becoming a mentor. So I always open anybody to become my mentee. If we have a good research interest, then it will be nice. If not, then I will refer to other colleagues to become mentee. So to become their mentor, inshallah. So that's my perception. And then before I pass to Dr. Faris, allow me, of course, Dr. Faris requests me to read his bio. Okay, so I will do that. Okay, as we all know that Dr. Faris is among I think one of the earliest student that can do PhD directly in UiTM. So they finish their degree with a first class degree, then they can continue their PhD directly. And Alhamdulillah, he also received his TPM scholarship. And then after that, in 2012, he went to Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken, or France, yeah, for a Nobel laureate meeting where he met his idola, right? That guy, I think that's Walter Kohn, the Nobel laureate, in the field that involved to Dr. Faris. Okay, I think that time Dr. Faris was about 70 kilogram ago, I think, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So in 2014 he graduated and joined UiTM. So subsequently, it's my pleasure to see any new lecturer, because new lecturer is a new PI, potential PI. So I always grab them and fill up this form, fill up that form. So they have to do this. So in 2015, Dr. Faris managed to secure the REX grant. All right, that makes him a national PI. And then in 2017, continued with FRJS, and in 2018, he won the Anugerah Academic Harapan of UiTM. Okay, this is the young lecturers awards, and all over UiTM in 2018. And then again in 2019, he received a FRJS, and then same year, first PhD student of Dr. Faris graduated. So we have here beside me, on my right is Dr. Hafiz. Now he's in UiTM Pahang, and beside Dr. Hafiz is Dr. Aidil, my student, now in UiTM Negeri Sembilan. So what else I want to share about Dr. Faris? Yes, currently he also the head of RG Tier 4. Okay, so I hope that if we can further support Dr. Faris, we can go to Tier 3 or COE, inshallah. So the next slide, I think I will invite Dr. Faris to share his motivation and inspiration. Please, Dr. Faris.
Thank you very much, Prof. Oscar, for your introduction, and maybe you just mentioned a little bit about the achievement, my achievement. And actually, first of all, thank you to the Professor Council under Prof. Sazali and our chairperson today, Prof. Ayub, and all the professor, mentor-mentee today, and all the participants. Okay, actually, I just want to touch maybe 2 or 3 important part or the perception from the mentee, because we are the second last group. Of course, we learn a lot of things from the presentation previous mentor-mentee experience, very good experience. I also learned from them. And then today I just make a simple, I think the 2 or 3 important part for the aspect that important for the young lecturer. Okay, let me just introduce myself. My name is Dr. Muhammad Farid bin Muhammad Tayyib. I'm from Faculty of Applied Science. Okay, from my view, I think for the 3 points important for the young lecturer is for the teaching learning, to develop the leadership and the research. I will talk about the research later, but I want to focus about the teaching learning and leadership first, because I'm very lucky because at a faculty level, actually, under the Prof. Farida Zuraina and the top management, we also have the mentor-mentee program. Actually, all the professor Faculty of Applied Science guide the young lecturer for their teaching and learning, for their research, and for their career development. Very good and very benefit for us. Thank you very much to the Faculty of Applied Science top management and member. And also, I learned a lot about the leadership from the dean and top management, and also my former dean, Prof. Jose. Now I think rector UiTM Professors. Okay, and then as I mentioned, I think the important for the young researcher is to plan, to prepare yourself before the time comes. And then the second one is the support system. As I mentioned before this, we are very lucky because we have a good support system, mentor-mentee program at the faculty level and also at the university level. Very good. And then we're talking about the preparation before the time. Okay, as Prof. Oscar informed, I pursue my PhD under TPM program in computational physics 2009 when I was 22 years old, and I was among the first batch who offered the direct PhD program. Actually, very difficult or very challenged to me to decide at the young age, 22 years old, to decide to pursue direct PhD. Actually, very difficult, but Alhamdulillah, I'm lucky because I have been supervised by.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Faris. Time seems to be running too short.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe you can keep that in Q&A session. Okay, is that okay?
It's okay.
Okay, all right. Prof. Oscar and also Dr. Faris, we open now question from the audience. If you have any question from Prof. Oscar and also Dr. Faris, please ask your question now. To me, Prof. Oscar, he seemed to be so unique, yeah, because he's sort of like from engineering, I suppose, but he ventured, and attached to social science faculty, art and design, and probably there are a lot of questions that probably you can ask from him. Any question, please? In the meantime, we have a lot of comments here in the chat box, from Zaf. A lot of motivation series to motivate the lectures, especially in the pandemic time now, And also from Tengku Maida, congratulations to all mentor and mentee. Program hari ini sangat membuka hati untuk mencari mentor dalam bidang keusahawanan. Thank you very much for the comment, Any question? We have also here from Dr. Siti Sarah Ibrahim. Do we have this kind of mentor-mentee program? Hope we can have a chance to be exposed to this program at larger scale, especially to groomers after graduated from our PhD journey. Another comment from Yarina Ahmad, Dr. Rayina. I think congratulations, Prof. Oscar and Dr. Faris.
Thank you.
Massive achievement. So any more questions? If not, thank you very much again, Prof. Oscar, and also Dr. Faris. In case if you have time, maybe they can still ask questions at the end of the program.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Ayub. Thank you, Dr. Faris.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
our last speaker. Okay, as usual, we save the best for last, right? So I'm going to invite Professor Datin Dr. Hafiza Mat Nawawi, the director, from iPerform UiTM Selangor branch, and her mentee, Associate Professor Dr. Suhaila Abdul Mu'id, also from iPerform UiTM Selangor branch, to be on screen now. I think someone should stop sharing this screen,
Can I have the previous speaker to stop sharing, please?
Yeah,
So
this is
I can come in.
Prof. Liza, I think.
Can you?
My supervisee, my mentee. She cannot,
Dr. Rasida, Sorry, Prof. Liza.
she cannot stop sharing somehow. I don't know why.
Dah, okay.
Oh dear.
Prof. Datin, I think you can share now,
Tak keluar ke Prof. Datin?
Sekejap, I'm trying to get in. Sekejap.
Otherwise, I think we have, right? Share. Prof. Datin keluar tak? Otherwise, we
Prof.
can
Liza?
ask Encik Bob, because we keep your slide actually with us here.
Sekejap.
Prof. Liza,
I seem to.
boleh minta supervisor supaya
Itulah, dia dah
switch
cari,
off.
dia tak jumpa. Macam mana nak stop sharing, dia tak
Paling bawah. Di sebelah stop video.
Yeah. Is this the slide, Prof. Datin?
Slide dah okey, mungkin masalah internet ni.
We cannot hear you, Prof. Datin. The slide is here because we control it from here, yeah.
Boleh saya boleh nampak ke slide?
Datin Suhaila, Datin Suhaila. Yeah.
Can see now.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
see the slide.
I couldn't come in because just now tak stop sharing. But I'm okay now. Can you see my slide? Sekarang dah okay ke? Boleh dengar?
Dah, Prof.
Boleh dengar. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Professor Ayub, for your kind introduction. I'm Hafizah Nawawi. And my mentor, ex-mentor lah ya, Professor Madya Dr. Suhaila Muid, who will share, would love to share our mentor-mentee experience for today. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there are several skills that's very important in mentoring, yeah. And some are mentor specific, some are mentee specific, some are common mentoring skills between mentees and mentors. There are 4 items that I would like to highlight. Number 1 is building trust. Number 2 is to listen actively. And number 3 to be encouraging, encouraging skills. And number 4 is identifying goals and current reality. And these are important both for the mentees as well as the mentors. I seem to have, okay, right, my slides are okay, dia lambat sikit. Okay, in terms of building trust is very important, and for the start of this mentor-mentee partnership, and the more we trust one another, the more committed we become, and the more effective that partnership is going to be. And it develops over time, it can't occur overnight. You need to get to know one another and trust each other. There are a few issues I think we would like to highlight in terms of building trust. Number 1 is very important to have trust in your mentee and mentor, vice versa, and also to keep confidential issues, for example, shared between the two. Yeah, you need to have mutual respect and trust with each other. The other point is to find time, spend time untuk mentee. Contohnya, for the benefits of the mentee is also a form of sedekah, right? So find time and spend time, appropriate time with the mentees, for example. And the other issue is in maintaining trust is to keep promises. Kadang-kadang memang deadline keeps moving like a goalpost, most often. For all of us are very familiar with that. But however, we try our level best to keep promises, follow through what we pledge to do. Kalau tak boleh, then we agree to move the goalpost, for example, and to respect the boundaries between us, and also to be honest, if we make mistakes, we admit we made an error and take responsibility to correct it, and also to be honest. And if we disagree or we are satisfied with certain issue and explain why, and it's a mutual understanding about certain issue. There are bound to be conflicts. That's very normal in any mentor-mentee relationship. Tapi what is important is to maintain the trust between both parties. Second issue is in terms of listening. Yeah, listening. Not all of us are gifted with listening skills. Yeah, but we have to have that. Whether you are a mentee or the person is a mentor. And it's very important to listen well, because then the mentor or mentee then feel that their concerns are being heard and understood and addressed well. So there are various issues in terms of listening. You can look up about communication skills, yeah, having encouraging responses when the other party is talking, the body language shows, yeah, avoid interruption when you have already given appointment to meet up mentees or mentors, show interest in what they are saying. At least you are interested and you are following up. And let's say they are very enthusiastic to do something, you follow up and say, how you doing with that? Is that okay? You need help or whatever? So interest and attention on that. And also, it's a good practice to summarize key points after major discussions and all that. Summarize key points both from the mentee and the mentor. So meeting expectations. Yeah. The other important skills is being encouraging. Yeah. We should be very generous with our compliments lah. Yeah, especially when there's an achievement, a good action that has been done, yeah, with both parties, either parties, and to give praise, either one to one. I think you've done a great job. I think keep it up, or something like that, or even in a group. It's good for the morale. It's good for the morale, yeah, that they are being appreciated for what they do. And positive traits, for example, they are resilient. Yeah, they are very resilient, and they're very perseverance, yeah, in certain challenges that they face. We highlight that. That's your strength, and it's good in this occasion. You've done very well. The other point is to show appreciation, right? A simple thank you would do, but sometimes we forget to do that in our hurried life. Okay, just to remind us, and also to inform them about how helpful their assistants have been. Yeah, it's a form of appreciation. The other point is on identifying goals and current reality, and that is important. I think everybody.
Prof. Datin, one more minute, Prof. Datin.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. In terms of SWOT analysis, yeah, strength, weakness, growth, requirement, set the goals and reality and current situation. Okay, the mentor specific skills are really few issues: nurturing capabilities, being inspiring, giving corrective feedback, managing skills, managing risk, yeah, and opening doors and opportunities. And that's very important in terms of doing mentoring, these specific skills. Dia ada lag lah, Prof. Yusof, yeah. Let me see. Okay, right. Nurturing capabilities, how to teach new knowledge, skills, soft skills, thought-provoking questions, and also for them to be aware of the organization, etc. And being inspiring, very important. Either exemplary themselves or observe other inspiring people, have them observe inspiring people or arrange inspirational experience. And sometimes to challenge the mentees so that they go to recognize their full potential. And to give corrective feedback, be honest, but in private, not to embarrass them, yeah, in the open, and also to be specific and not vague, and offer useful suggestion. Also teaching them, coaching them to manage risk and opening doors for opportunities. Very important. In academia, how to write papers, co-authorship reviews, grant application, presentation, scientific papers, attachment dan
I'm so
sebagainya.
sorry, Prof. Datin, time seems to be running too short. Do you have more slides?
I'm asking my mentee now to present. I'm done. Okay, next I get
Okay. So
AP Suhaila.
I think I have to.
Prof. Suhaila, AP Suhaila.
Sure.
Yeah, you can carry on. Yeah.
And Professor Zali and organizer. So Alhamdulillah, I feel very humble to share my experience as Prof. Datin Dr. Hafizah's mentee. So these are specific skills that are required by mentee for excellent mentor-mentee process. So based on my experience, it works along the way. In terms of acquiring mentors, first you need to find a mentor that can guide or give direction towards achieving your goals. Then you need to become a fast learner and becoming proactive by showing initiatives. This is very important, especially in the early stage mentor-mentee relationship. So with this, you can build your mentor confidence by showing this effort. Then active follow-up and always managing the relationship. So this is very important to make the relationship always in constant. So this is to show among important shared core skills by both mentor-mentee, such as listening actively, building trust, encouraging each others, and identifying goals and current reality. Okay, next slide is to show my journey with my mentor here, Prof. Datin Dr. Hafizah. from RA until obtaining a PhD. So then this mentor-mentee relationship actually continues in my academia journey until now, inshallah. So next. So opening doors initiative by my mentor is actually do develop my research skills such as clinical trial, cell culture, as well as writing articles and grant proposals. So I've been given opportunity by my mentor to be a part of Cells in Space program for my PhD project. So I always feel very grateful with this given opportunity by Prof. Datin Dr. Hafizah, because with this program, it really developed my resilient attitude, communication skills, and overall research skills. Okay, so we go to the next slide. So this is the current grant that we secured recently, PRGS and Grant Khas Pendidikan from the Ficus Day project. Okay, so in the next slide, it shows that this is the output that we have achieved through continuous mentor-mentee in academia. So I pass this session back to Prof. Datin Dr. Hafizah. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Suhaila. Yeah, okay, for the brilliant and also Prof. Datin for the very insightful experience that you share with us. So I'm going to actually open questions to the floor now.
Prof. Ayub, can I have 1 minute to just flash through some photos? Just 1 minute. You got 5 minutes for Q&A,
sure,
right?
sure.
Can I just take 1 minute? Yeah. Can we have the next flash through some of the slides that we have prepared? This is just to
sure.
highlight a grant that Suhaila has been working on with our research team when she was a PhD student, Biotech Fund from MOSTI, on a part of the Malaysian Space Mission. Okay, that has given her and us a lot of experience in terms of international collaboration. Next slide, please. Sorry, I'm not controlling it now. I think somebody's controlling it. Okay, right. And these are some of the output we have. She has managed with our team to get a patent and a book up written and several innovation awards and experience to present at innovation competitions and innovation awards obtained from there. Next, please. Okay, that's some of space mission work on cell culture work. Next. Okay, that's on confocal microscopy, which is quite an innovative thing that she has done during her PhD. Next. Okay, this is some of the experience we had in Moscow, experience with international collaboration, as well as presenting to the members of the parliament on our research program, as well as having exposure to work in international laboratory. Next. And again, working with Sheikh Muzaffar and team. Next. And also even helping us to prepare press kit and press conference, for UiTM. And also Suhaila had a vast experience in being there at the launching pad when the Soyuz was being launched to the International Space Station. Next. Of course, we also had the opportunity to present our data to the Russian embassy and to the MOSTI.
I'm so sorry, Prof. Datin. We are running short of time now.
Okay, just flash through. There's anything?
Flash through.
Just flash through quickly. Okay, this is mass
Just
part
glance
of the
through
program.
the slide.
Glance through, and also the natural product tocotrienol work. She has published a total of 7 papers from her PhD. Next. Okay, next. Yep, and this is a ficus work that she has we started from Ministry of Agriculture, and now Suhaila is heading the PRGS, which is newly awarded. So we gave her the PI-ship, right? And also she has been shortlisted in the TED1 recently, which is a good experience for her to present to MOSTI, as a PI. Next, these are the FH, Familiar Hypercholesterolemia Project team. Next slide. And some of the achievement. Next slide. And some of the experiences. Next, international. Next.
Prof. Datin?
Yeah, I think we can finish off. I just want to show the last slide. These are some of the international award. Can we just finish off, please? Next. International. Next. Gold medal awards. Next. These are some of the people whom, and these are our collaborators, our team. Last slide, please. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Datin, and also Dr. Suhaila for a massive achievement. Yeah, we love actually to hear more and more from you, but time seems to be running too short. Yeah, so we can have maybe another webinar series, part 2, part 3, specifically to talk about the achievement of individual mentors or mentees. Okay. All right, so before that, I just would like to remind all the audience that, we're going to actually share with all of you the copy of the presentation slide, yeah, later. And in the meantime, we have already provided the attendance, yeah, link, yeah, in the chat box. The attendance form and also e-certificate link. Yeah, so each and every one of you will be provided with a e-certificate of attendance for this. Okay, and I think that's about time. And maybe also the QR code in case for you to register your attendance. So I would love actually to have maybe general questions, but time seems to be running too short, right?
We have time for questions, right, Prof. Ayub? We are supposed to stop
I'm
at
so
1.
sorry.
Yeah.
My timekeeper here just mentioned to me we don't have time for general question.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Because
I'm so
we are
sorry.
supposed to stop at 1, right?
Yes, right. So we have only about 8 minutes left because we're really dying here to have a photo session.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we really need to have a photo session now. Okay, so can we ask all the mentors and mentees, all the speakers, distinguished speakers, to switch on your camera, and also all the audience. So we can have our photo session now. Are you ready, Encik Bob? Yeah, we are about ready now, yeah, to take the photo. Please switch on your camera. Nice to see all, happy faces, yeah. Okay, this is another, the second scene, yeah. We got the third one? Finish. This is okay, the third one now. Okay, that's all. Yeah, so I would like to thank everyone for joining me, and also on the behalf of organizing committee to be with us in this particular webinars, and we will hope to maybe organize more and more webinar series, yeah, from UiTM Council of Professors. Okay, so I hope everybody stays safe. Okay, and thank you for joining us. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Thank you everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, salam.
Goodbye everyone.
Terima kasih kepada semua. Thank you very much.
Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Hope to see you all soon. Thank you.
InsyaAllah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya, selamat tengah hari. Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.